We have no lawyer, we can't do anything, we're paralyzed.
Good evening. Good evening, and welcome to the regular scheduled meeting of the Mayor and Borough Council. Today is Monday, September 18th, 2017. We will begin this evening's meeting with the Open Public Meetings Act. I hereby announce and request that such be included in the minutes of this meeting, that notice of the time, date, and place of this meeting has been prominently posted on the bulletin board at Borough Hall, mailed to the Times, the Star-Ledger, the Courier News, and Alternative Press by January 10th, 2017, filed with the Borough Clerk, and mailed to any person requesting the same in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act. At this point, I'd like for everyone that's here to please rise. We will have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would ask that you remain standing for a moment of silence and take this time for whatever reflection that you would like to do. Thank you. May we start the evening off with a roll call, please?
Present.
Here.
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 Here. I'd like to start with a review and approval of minutes of meetings that we have had. A regular meeting of August 21st, 2017. The agenda meeting of August 7th, 2017, and special meetings that we held on August 14th and September 5th.
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We have one presentation tonight, and I will go over to the podium.
All for you. All for you. I have to be crystal.
Good evening.
For this meeting.
And before we get into our normal business that we carry on here, we begin each of our televised meetings by drawing attention to a special resident that lives in town. And we've been doing this probably for the last 7 or 8 years, where we have a volunteer of the month. And this is a resident that we look to that has really been out in our community, going above and beyond and sort of putting sense of community first. And this evening, it is with great pleasure that I'd like to call forward our September Volunteer of the Month, Amy Bora. Hi. So a little bit about Amy. If she looks familiar, is because when Amy came to town and we were doing our redevelopment efforts and our new buildings were going up in the downtown area, Amy was really one of the first businesses that jumped in with 2 feet. And she is Be Craftful, which really became a destination place and something very, very popular for all ages in our community. And that's where I got a chance to interface with you, meet your family, meet your daughter, and really watch your creative juices start to flourish about what you can do to give back to your community. And Amy went on to run Be Craftful and joined our Fanwood Recreation Commission in November of 2013. And she brought that same enthusiasm of her time and her energy to the planning of our numerous run town events, which is the Halloween costume, which is our holiday tree lighting celebration, the Easter egg hunt, the party in the park, the training wheel toss, as well as just joining in and being a real vocal member that contributes to the Recreation Commission. It is your ideas, it is your sense of being able to plan and to execute and to communicate that really you've touched so many residents' lives, both in your professional life and as well as your volunteer spirit. And for that and for so much others, we wanted to just publicly acknowledge you this evening, to let you know that what you do does not go unnoticed by the governing body and the rest of the community at large. So with that, I want to congratulate you on being the Volunteer of the Month. For you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, we're going to let you talk, of course.
So this is our historic train station. And, you know, we always have said this is, you know, something that people recognize when they think of Fanwood. And so we want you to hang this someplace in your house and know that every time you look at it, that we really do appreciate everything that you've done in your town. You know, you're raising your family here, but you're going above and beyond. And for that, we want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I really hadn't planned on saying anything except for thank you. So like Mayor Marr said, we've been here about Allie, my daughter's 11, so for 11 years. And we love Fanwood, and being part of the community just became really delving in and involving myself as much as I could in both education, in the community, in events, and we have such a wonderful governing body and supportive mayor. Everything I've done within the community, I think, has been a group effort, and I'm really proud of our town of Fanwood. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to go right into our standing committee reports, and I will start with Administration and Finance with Councilman Russ Hugo.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have anything specifically to report this month, although I was at Fanwood Day yesterday. It was good to see everybody out there and about. Happy to report that we had winners to the water balloon contest, the pie eating contest, the ice cream eating contest, the spaghetti eating contest, the hamburger eating contest, the do we have a hot dog eating contest?
No, we don't.
No, we didn't. But the weather was good.
Omelet.
What? Omelet. Omelet eating contest.
Omelet eating
And,
contest?
and I'm not kidding about the omelet. Everything
No,
else I
that's
was
true.
kidding about. The omelet eating contest, that really actually happened. So,
Jeffries?
but the weather held out. It was a nice day. Wasn't too hot, wasn't too cool. Rain held out, so it was good to see everybody out there. And yay Fanwood, go Fanwood. So that's all I have today. Yay Fanwood.
Councilman Boris is not here under public safety. Is there anything that we should know under public safety?
Public safety.
Public safety, when maybe the train station?
Yeah, for those of you that don't buy train station parking permits, for years we used to have everyone line up and buy their permits every year and stand outside, or hopefully come inside, and it was always quite an ordeal, and sometimes we'd hear about it through social media now. And so we've decided over actually the last 2 years to look at a better way to do this, and to do it in a way that right now didn't cost us anything with technology, so that's a good thing right now, but we'll look for something in the future to go even further. But what we're going to do is everyone who has a parking permit now is able to renew via email, and they can either send in a check to us for the cost of the permit, or they can come into Borough Hall and use their credit card. So those are the two options that they'll have, and that way we already have a waiting list, so as we sell the people that want to renew, we'll then go to a waiting list and start going down on that based on when we got the email sent to us. So trying to move forward in technology, and hopefully it seems we've gotten some positive reports on that already, positive feedback from the public.
So the people who have the permits, they should have sent an email to the email address to just confirm and get an acknowledgement, so that when they go live, we'll have everybody's address.
That is correct.
Okay, thanks.
And it will also help us because now we'll have everyone's email address, so if we ever have any traffic issues or parking lots that we have to close down for any reason, we'll be able to communicate with all our permit holders very easily.
Thank you. I want to just publicly thank Councilman Molinar for really taking the lead on this, for working with the police department, and also communicating with the Scotch Plains mayor and the police chief over there, because we do have a certain percentage of parking permits that are sold to Scotch Plains residents. So far, so good, and thank you.
It's back to me.
Councilman Molinar.
Yes, thank you. And regarding the process itself, just to talk a little bit more about the permits, I want to thank our police department, our chief, and our administrative person in the police department, Diane, who's really helped out with the process, really took it and created it and helped us get it out there and communicate it. So a lot of what you see out there is a lot of the work that our own police department has done. So I thank you to them as well. Okay, Public Works. We had a Public Works meeting where we talked about projects for the next round of DOT, which we'll get to later in the agenda. So I don't want to steal that thunder, but we did meet and talked about that. We talked about some other issues at our Public Works meeting. We talked about ways to, our Public Works Director, Clint Dixon, is going to be looking in ways to maybe go to technology to help us going forward. Perhaps looking at existing off-the-shelf public works software that we could have, our foreman could have tablets out there that could actually take pictures of problems and report them and create files that we could respond to things quickly, and everything is geocoded when you take a picture. So these are things that we should be doing and things that exist, and hopefully over the next year we'll be have enough information where we'll be able to talk more about it. But we just started that conversation at our Public Works meeting, and a lot of communities have this where it's even online, where people could share, people of the community could take a picture and share it with us as well through an online portal. So these are the things that we're looking at to be able to be more transparent of what we're doing, how we're doing it, and how much Public Works does for us, and so we can get on top of things even faster. So these are some of the things that we talked about in Public Works. And as usual, they've done their typical cleaning, and how many tons, Russ? Is it in our report? Are tons of potholes repairs?
The pothole? That's not potholes, I see. That's,
We perform pothole repairs on various borough streets.
Yes.
Carson.
But he didn't give you how much gravel was used.
I know.
Or whatever.
I'm sorry about that, Russ. I know that's important to
It's
you.
very disappointing.
We'll get that for next time.
But the PMUA gave us the tonnage for the recycling.
They did. Why don't you tell us what that is, Russ?
The subtotal for 2017, which is July, August, is 492 tons.
Wow.
That's a lot of stuff.
That's a lot of block parties that added to that, I
Stuff.
believe.
A lot of
Stuff.
conscientious Fanwoodians.
Yes. Fanwoodians like to recycle.
I think they've seen,
Awesome.
when they look back when the recycling center was open, that there's been sort of like up to like 100% increase in some of the months of what we're recycling. So
It's awesome.
go
Yes.
Fanwood.
Yep.
And we
Go
have
Fanwood.
and we have new banner poles on Martine Avenue, so we can put banners back up again safely.
One's up now, I think.
Is there one up now?
Yeah,
Yes.
it sure is. Yeah, it looks great, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fanwood Day.
So that
And I
was
feel safe driving under it. too.
something that we worked on for the last year, because the previous poles were moving way too much and hitting the wires, so we decided we couldn't do that anymore, and our engineers helped us out with that, and Public Works, and we now have a way to advertise our events again, instead of just on the lawn of Borough Hall with a banner, which was
Folded in half.
folded in half, and it worked for a while, but I'm glad we moved on. Our Historic Preservation Commission met this month after the summer off, and in October there'll be 4 Centuries in a Weekend, which our museum does participate in. If you've never done it, the county runs it. It's through the county, and our train station is a stop along this 4 Centuries in a Weekend. So that's always exciting to me and exciting for our members of the commission. They're continuing getting new cases and making more things available to be seen. They're looking at ways of digitizing more things, so more things will be available to the public. There's a lot of cool things there, so if you ever get an opportunity, they're open once a month on a Sunday, and they're also online, their hours, and I think it's on our Fanwood website when they're open. We're always looking for people that are interested in working on the Historic Preservation Commission, And if you want to know anything about Fanwood, there are people there in that room that will be able to answer any questions you have. With that, that's what I have tonight.
Councilman, I know that Antonius is here this evening, which I don't think you normally come to our.
I have been.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, sorry.
That's
I know
okay.
you were at the agenda meeting.
That's okay.
So I don't know if you want to take some of your monthly reports, because that would kind of dovetail into
I
what the
can
council was
talk
doing.
to a few.
Yeah, I think that would be
items. All right.
helpful to the community.
Sure. So the contractor was scheduled to start this week at the pedestrian plaza behind the I'm sorry. Is that better? Okay. The contractor scheduled to start this week on the pedestrian plaza improvements behind the Martine Avenue stores. So that project's finally underway.
Did you start today?
Honestly, I don't know if he was out there today. I didn't get a chance to run out there.
Supposed to start today, I'm not sure.
Okay.
They weren't sure either.
I'll follow up and make sure they're still on schedule to start this week, or today actually, but I'll make sure I'll check on that. Poplar Place improvements, the contractor started about 2 weeks ago, and they're out there installing drainage now. The project's scheduled to take about 8 weeks total, so about 6 more weeks. That doesn't include some new curbing that's going to be installed on Shady Lane. That's probably another week's worth of work there. New Jersey American Water, I'm sure people have seen them on North Avenue. They're still out there. It's tough construction, but they're scheduled to finish October 7th, which is another couple
Less
weeks.
than a month.
2 more weeks,
Couple more weeks.
3 more weeks. 2 more weeks.
Counting.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough there.
We taking bets here?
No.
And no bets, please.
You're different
And
bets.
once that's done, they want to start another phase on the other side of North. We haven't had any discussions other than their
We
pipe
need to.
dream, and I know we need to.
You mean on the other side of Martine, the other side
Yes.
of North?
Yes, they're going all the way
Well, they're
down to
creeping
Terrell.
close to
Right
your
where your
house.
brand new
so.
stop sign is.
Well, they're passing that,
Pretty
yeah, they're
curving.
going,
Past that, you mean?
yes, past that. They're gonna go all the way into Plainfield.
So they're gonna start after Shield's Crossing and then go over
They're going to start where they stopped, right in front of the train station parking
Oh.
lot, and take that all the way down into Plainfield.
I would say, I think we talked about this 2 weeks ago, to,
Slow them down a little
well,
bit.
I
and-
think you gotta sit and talk to them.
And
Because
that's,
the pace is-
yeah, that's the plan. I know Chief Trigo has already explained to them that we want them to slow down quite a bit to not impact the neighborhoods over there.
Well, it's just the weather.
And the weather's, the winter weather's coming, and
Excuse me.
we just don't know what that'll bring. It's always a gamble. Which brings me to our other utility, the gas company. We had a meeting with them last week. They want to start working on the northeast quadrant of town. We asked them to slow down. We asked them to not start till next year, but they had issues with keeping their contractor busy if they didn't start sooner than that. So they're gonna work with the police and my office to at least work in the quieter neighborhoods until they're done with the other section of town that they're working on now, so that they're not impacting the streets that cross from Martine to Westfield Avenue.
So was there any conversation, Councilman Molinar, at your DPW committee about American Water and Elizabethtown Gas and the condition of the roads and, you know, going back as they're gonna start? I mean, is there, I know, because we've been getting, I mean, I've been getting a lot of complaints about the condition of the roads and how they're being left. I didn't know if that came up at all.
It's an ongoing battle that we're constantly between our engineer, between Clint Dixon, Public Works. We're constantly trying to get as much from them as we can.
They had made a commitment, though. They had a timeline, you know, where they would leave it to settle and then come back and repave.
Right.
Are they not following that timeline?
I think the gas company's on that timeline. They're on their timeline. They weren't planning on paving the section they're on now, the Helen Street in that area, until next spring. So that's going to be paved.
Okay, so that's longer than I remember us. Is that just because of the time of the year?
I don't, well, yeah, it brings us into the winter. You're not gonna pave in the winter. They're still out there. They're just about complete with the main, I believe.
Did they do Shady though?
The gas
Shady's-
company? Long
Shady's
time ago.
complete. We're just.
They haven't paved it
They're
yet,
ready
but
to
they're-
pave
Well, that's
it.
what I mean. Did
Oh,
they
no.
pave it?
Not
It
yet.
seems like it's
They're waiting
time.
until we
Well,
get the curbs in.
the-
That's supposed to happen like this month, right, or October?
They were supposed to pave it earlier in September.
Yeah, I thought it was.
And we asked
But the
them to
curbs
hold
aren't
off.
in yet,
Yes,
so-
otherwise, the whole curbing would mess up the new asphalt. So
Okay.
they've been working with us to slow down a little bit.
Oh, okay.
We expect to have the curbing in
So it's
by
not
next
their
week.
fault.
No, that section of town is not their fault.
Okay.
So we're working on getting that paved as quickly as possible.
Have you guys been dealing with their, the government affairs person, that woman, Tina?
Tina Early, yes,
Okay.
yes. Yeah, they've been a lot better with letting us know what's going on. I speak to her at least once or twice a month, just to make sure we're on track and we know where they are.
She's going to come in October, a meeting in October,
Oh, she
Oh,
is
she
next
is?
month?
Yeah.
To do what, to?
just to explain what they're going to do and when they're going to start.
I was
Right,
just with
but
her
you're-
today.
Right, but
So-
you're saying you're having conversations with them about wanting to maybe
Start,
slow or
right.
watch the pace, so we need to get that rectified.
yeah, they want to start probably at the same time that she's going to come in. The project spans between, it's about 3 miles, a little bit more than 3 miles of pipe that they need to install. 1 mile of that is in Scotch Plains. So they're gonna do all the Scotch Plains work first and then come into Fanwood mid-October.
Okay.
I have one more thing. The fire department had 26 calls for the month of August. They also had a mini wet down and picnic, which was very successful. So, and they had no injuries for the month. So, good news.
Awesome.
The infrastructure trust grant, as you know, we received $55,000 from Union County to pave North Avenue after the water company finished their work. Unfortunately, that grant needed to be spent this year, so we asked if they could transfer that money from North Avenue to Poplar Avenue. They granted us a change in scope, and that's on tonight to be voted on. No, it's not? Okay, I don't think it matters.
No, because I didn't have all the details.
Okay.
When I was making up the agenda.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I don't think it matters. We have their blessing. We're okay. NJDOT grant, we are going to request a grant for Stewart Place and Ginder Place, which are 2 roads are well in need of upgrade. My preliminary estimate for that work was $500,000 for the 2. We expect a grant of about $400,000, which is double than it's been in the past, which is what the DOT's told us, that they're going to be giving out double the money as they have been. So that's going to go in before the October 6th deadline. And that's all I have to report on.
So is it my understanding that they're not going to pave that part of North Avenue until the spring?
So North Ave, no, I'm sorry, I forgot to talk about that. So,
From like midway to,
yeah,
up
it's
to
it's
the-
going to get paved, but in the spring, like you said. It needs to settle. Otherwise, we could go out and pave it the day after they finish, but then in 2 months, you're going to have ruts, and it's just not going to be a good job. And
Is
then
somebody going to help it, because it's really a mess?
we'll work with the water company to try to at least get all the potholes repaired. I think they fixed one of the potholes that you talked about last
Yeah,
meeting.
I lost a tire on,
Did you lose a tire?
Right, I did.
Almost.
basically,
Was that the
yes,
one that the woman
goes-
dropped her,
No, that's not that.
not different pothole?
Yes.
So we'll work with them. They've been working with us pretty well. You know,
Okay.
we just gotta keep an eye on everything, so I try to go out there once every week or so.
Okay, good. Any other questions? Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Councilman Krantz?
Thanks, Mayor. I just have two events to make sure everybody knows about. Tomorrow night at the Chelsea, from 5 to 7, they're doing a fundraiser for Alzheimer's New Jersey. The Chelsea company does an annual year-round fundraiser for Alzheimer's New Jersey, which is one of the state's premier support groups for people with Alzheimer's and for families of folks who have Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. From 5 to 7 tomorrow night, they're having a tricky tray auction at the Chelsea. It's a $10 donation to get in, which gets you food and some kind of liquor. It says spirits, I don't know what that means, I guess wine. And you can bid on gift baskets, and it's for a really worthy cause. And also mark your calendars for this year's free rabies vaccination clinic for Fanwood residents for dogs and cats. So this year it's Wednesday, October 18th at 5:30 at LeGrand Park. Last year they had apparently not such great turnout, so I want to get the word out early. It's a free rabies shot, and all you have to do is show up. You don't have to make a reservation or register or anything, just show up. That's Wednesday, October 18th, 5:30 to 6:30 at LeGrand Park. That's all I have.
Okay, Councilwoman Barker?
So there's a lot going on with Fanwood There's a lot going on with Fanwood Recreation. They wound down the summer and they have kicked off the fall. If you go on the Fanwood Rec site, you will see all the new fall programs for kids as well as for seniors. Fall programming for kids, they have some special programs for the little ones that parents participate in, and then they have some for the older kids, both activity and learning based as well as sports. And for the seniors, it's a lot of active stuff, but it looks kind of fun. There's even Zumba. So check it out. You can register online. I think the seniors programs are really well utilized. The kids programs depend on the season often, but they're always trying to put out new programs. And so also if you ever have any ideas for new programming, I'm sure the Recreation Commission would be happy to receive them. And then the Fanwood 5K is already on the Fanwood Rec site. It also has its own site, which is linked to the Fanwood Rec site. And that's Saturday, October 21st. Festivities, which includes food, start at 2:30, so have a hot dog before you run a 5K. I'm not sure I'll do that, but so the fun run starts at 3:30 and the 5K starts at 4, and it is a superhero theme again, which was really a lot of fun for the kids. So if you're an adult, it would be fun if you could wear a costume, because it made it a lot more amusing for me when I was watching everyone run by. And online registration does end on the 19th at midnight, 19th of October, but you can register same day. It's just a little more expensive and they won't guarantee you a t-shirt. But if you wear a costume, you don't really need a t-shirt, so that will all work out. The mayor and I are wearing costumes this year, right, Mayor?
Yes, we are.
What are you gonna be?
That's not to be disclosed. It's coming.
Are you gonna be like coordinated?
I'm just gonna let you wait for it.
All right.
Coming out in a
Check it.
press release. That's kind of it. Things are pretty peaceful in the Fanwood Recreation side of things right now. So
The 5K is a Saturday this year?
it is a Saturday at
Yeah,
3
'cause
o'clock,
Usually it's a Sunday, but, okay.
with
it's a
the hope
Saturday.
that more people will be able to attend, because all the early Saturday morning sports will have
Right.
ended, and hopefully they're tired of their housework for the day and they can come
That's a good
and
time.
run a 5K and then maybe
Yeah,
stop
we
at
hope.
Sheelan's
Yeah, that's a good.
and all of that. So
'cause then
that's the hope.
goes right into like a
Happy hour,
happy hour.
right? Just
That's
run
an
right
excellent idea.
to
It's my
happy hour.
nap, it's my nap time.
Or nap time, happy hour or nap, whichever you prefer.
Nap in your car.
So, I'm done.
Thank you. And Councilwoman Mitchell?
Oh, I have a lot to report tonight. The library, we met last week. Most of the talk was about the library referendum. If you have been following the saga of our library for the past 2 or 3 years, you know that our library needs some help. We've also been batting around the idea of doing major upgrade, not only an upgrade, but a new possibly a new library. So hopefully this referendum will pass. It is a state referendum, binding referendum, that we can apply for money toward whatever project we do with the library. I think, the statistics show that when you have a new and a modern, up-to-date technological library and a community space, that it does enhance your property value. So hopefully when you go to the polls this November, you will consider that because it will be a yes or no question on your ballot this year. The library had their book sale this past weekend. I haven't heard officially, but I have heard that they have done very well. Now, last year and the year before, they made approximately $10,000. So hopefully they surpass that. I know they had an awful lot of books. I went there on Saturday, swore I wasn't gonna buy anything. I did. But anyway, I had a lot of fun, because I met a lot of people there. The seniors, they had their first meeting of the year today. They will be having their anniversary dinner tomorrow at 12 o'clock in Westfield at the Westwood. To those seniors in the out there in Fanwood, the mayor has hopefully, we've met with the Chelsea and the people at the JCC. We are trying to decide how we can help the seniors in Fanwood. So we know that the JCC offers opportunities for residents of Fanwood and Scotch Plains. You do not have to belong to the JCCs. We are hopeful that maybe one of our senior meetings can be held at the Chelsea. I don't know, we're working things back and forth so that all of the seniors, not just our seniors who belong to the senior club, will have an opportunity to take advantage of the various venues in and around the town. You should have received a letter from the mayor just this past, I guess it was last week, telling you of the various opportunities at the JCC. So hopefully, many of you will take advantage of some of those things. The Environmental Commission has not met this week, but this month they will meet next week. However, we did have a presence at the PMUA in Plainfield last week. They had an environmental fair. I am so glad that we had a presence there. I went with Eric Golan and spent like about 3 hours at our table. Very, very impressive, the whole fair. And I would encourage people to come to it next year. They probably had about 50 or 60 different displays. And the amount of people that stopped by our table was very encouraging. Everybody who was there, and they had all kinds of free fruit, right, Mayor?
No, the food was good.
It was really, it was wonderful. Let me see, what else? You know, our Performing Arts Council, you do know that is, you got it in your newsletter. They perform on the second Saturday of the month. I would encourage you to come and to see one of these concerts. It's inexpensive. They have food during the intermission. The performers are pretty much local people, and by local I mean, you know, people from New Jersey. And if you haven't seen the Carriage House, then shame on you, you should come, okay? And the rescue squad, I don't usually have a report, but I do tonight, or I haven't had one for the past couple of months, so I haven't been able to report. And that's my fault, not their fault. They've had, for the month of August, they had 82 calls for a whole myriad of things. Sickness, 27, falls are always a big one, 20. Cardiovascular problems, 12. Motor vehicle accidents, 7. I wouldn't think in Fanwood there would be that many motor vehicle accidents, but I guess there are. They had mutual aid to Scotch Plains 20 times. What's going on there? Okay, we had to
They
help them out.
come here and we go there.
Yeah, we had to help them out. I guess they were on vacation in August. Let me see. They, of course, they had a standby for the National Night Out. Now, I don't usually report on the ministerium, but I am this month only because the crop walk will be October 15th. And for those of you who don't know, the funds garnered from the crop walk go to help relieve world hunger. But whatever those funds are, say we collect, I don't know, $15,000, 25% of that comes back to Fanwood. And it goes into a fund to help residents of Fanwood and Scotch Plains who need things like maybe a bus pass, maybe to pay their heating bill. We had an incident here in Fanwood where some of these funds were needed over, I think, Labor Day weekend, and the mayor can speak to that more than I, but the fund is just about depleted. So hopefully this year we will, there will be a big response to the crop walk, because as I said, the proceeds do come back here to Fanwood and Scotch Plains. So again, I have a challenge for all of my council people here. I'll be after you for your donation. And I'd like to know if anybody would like to walk in it. It's 3 miles, it's for a good cause, it's October 15th.
It's pretty straight line,
Yeah,
right?
it's a pretty straight walk, it's
through
down
Scotch
Martine
Plains,
Avenue,
down
yeah,
Martine.
down Martine Avenue. And at the agenda session, I will have my little pad to get money from all of you, including you out there. I have no shame. So do I have a volunteer to walk?
It's a good cause.
I don't hear anybody
If you
yet.
remind me, I will
What
walk.
time-
It's
what time's
it's
the
like
walk?
really far in my
Usually in the
brain.
morning.
No, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh.
2 o'clock in the afternoon. And
And
then,
Maybe.
you know, since
After
you
it's
know a
after
whole
church.
group of people that I don't know, you can get some other people to sponsor you, not just the people here.
What I would just say is, what I don't think most people truly understand is that there is this fund, as Kathy mentioned, that is there to help our residents who need financial help. And over Labor Day weekend, there was a family that needed help with keeping their electricity on. So that fund went to help them, pay the electricity bill. And it comes through the ministerium,
Correct.
which oversees it, which is all the faith-based organizations. And if someone needs like a gift card or a gas card, they'll do that. Or if they need food, they'll give them so much on a gift card maybe to Stop and Shop or to the Acme or something. And those funds there are getting seriously depleted. And so I don't think they had a crop walk last year, right?
No, they did not. Haven't
So
had one
which
for
was
2
part
years.
of the problem is that the walk has been on kind of hiatus for 2 years. So it's coming back, and I think for the money that comes back here to the residents, they usually go to the churches first for help, people who need financial help in town, and that's kind of, where this is sprung up from.
And I'd just like to, we call it the ministerium, rightly so, because it is made up of various clergy people from the community, but it also, it's open to the public also. So we have the school superintendent who is a part of it, people from, there's a representative from the
Habitat
Y, the 2 police chiefs are part of it, each town sends a representative to it. So it is apparently in the realm of ministeriums around the state, it is very unique in that it is open to all segments of the population so that we can, head off problems as they come up, and that's all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you. The only plug I will say is that on September 28th, which is, I guess, 2 weeks from Thursday, we will have our first Fanwood home-based business reception. We're doing this with Liz Jeffries and myself at the Carriage House because we know we've spent the last probably 2 years really working with getting involved with the Greater Westfield Area Chamber of Commerce and our brick and mortar stores in town. But as we were doing this, we have come across a tremendous amount of individuals who run businesses out of their homes. So this free home-based business reception will be a networking event. We'll also be able to talk about what we know is maybe some economic development incentives for home-based businesses. It is open to the public, and all the information is also on the website of September 28th at 6 o'clock.
May I say one more thing, Mayor?
Sure.
Okay, I forgot to tell you that our performing arts program received a grant of $1,200, I think, from the county to help defray some of the expenses to help pay the people who performed. So I'd like to thank the county for their generosity in helping to support this program.
Thank you. Okay, moving on, no special committee reports. We have a presentation of claims.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I just realized I failed to give the tax collector's report for August. So here it is.
Are you slipping?
I am slipping, but I'm trying to make up for it. So for the month of August 2017, we collected, since the tax bills went out that month, $7,997,718.76, and that brought the year-to-date total to $23,854,494.98. So that was how much money Fanwood collected. The payment of claims. Yeah, so I'll move the tax collector's report at this time.
Do I have a second, please?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Next, I'll move the payment of claims. Claims in the amount of $4,056,394.59, having been listed on the bill list and recorded in the files of the Borough Hall and approved by the chairman of the appropriate committees. Those be paid.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Then may I have a roll call, Mrs. McElroy?
Yes.
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 Nothing under ordering of claims. I'd now like to have a motion to open the meeting to the public for agenda items.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to call forward any members of the public that wish to come forward at this time. Seeing that there is no one that'd like to come forward, may I have a motion to close the meeting to the public on agenda items?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on under old business, Councilman Yuklo, you have one ordinance on a second reading, please.
Thank you. So this is the, I'll call it for second reading, ordinance number 17-13-S, and request that the clerk, having produced an affidavit of publication, read the ordinance by title.
Bond ordinance providing appropriation of $1 million, total $12,000 for streetscape improvements along South Avenue by and for the Borough of Fanwood in the County of Union, New Jersey, and authorizing the issuance of $199,500 in bonds or notes for the borough for financing part of the appropriation.
I move that a public hearing be held on said ordinance.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to call forward any members of the public that wish to make a comment on this bond ordinance public hearing. Seeing that there isn't any, may I have a motion to close the meeting, close the hearing to the
So
public?
moved.
Second.
I move that this ordinance be adopted on second reading and final passage, and if adopted, be published as required by law.
May I have a roll call, please, Mr. McDonald?
Wait a second.
I did.
Yes.
Kathy Mitchell?
Yes.
Tom Cruise?
Yes.
Mary McElroy Parker?
Yes.
Frank Palmer?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Under consent agenda, we have, I guess, 4 items that we would like to move as noted.
I'll move items 1 through 4 on the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Moving on to new business, under Administration and Finance, Councilman Yuklo, you have one resolution.
Thank you. I'll move at this time Resolution 17-09-165. It's a refund of some overpaid taxes for the address that's listed there.
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Russell Yuko?
Yes.
Jack Omenauer?
Yes.
Tom Cruise?
Yes.
Mary McElroy Parker?
Yes.
Kathy Mitchell?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next, Councilman Molinar, you have 3 resolutions, please.
Okay, I move resolution 17-09-166. This is to hire a contractor to, I'm sorry to say, it's coming, the leaves.
I'll second.
Fall is coming.
I'll second it.
I have a second. May I have a roll call, please?
Jack Mulligan,
Yes.
Russell Yuko.
Yes.
Tom France.
Yes.
Karen Beck-Walker.
Yes.
Catherine Mitchell.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We now move resolution 1709-167, and this is to install curbs on Shady Lane, darn it.
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Jack Mulligan,
Yes.
Russell Yuko.
Yes.
Tom France.
Yes.
Karen
Curbs.
Beck-Walker.
Yes.
Catherine Mitchell.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I move resolution 1709-173, and this is to do a shared service with Fanwood, the Fanwood Scotch Plains Board of Ed, Scotch Plains, and us for garbage removal.
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Jack Mulligan.
Yes.
Russell Yuko.
Yes.
Tom France.
Yes.
Karen Beck-Walker.
Yes.
Catherine Mitchell.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Under land use and historic preservation,
I think that's me.
yes, that's you.
Right. So I move Resolution 1709-174, which awards a contract to Najarian Associates for surveying the land where currently Old South Avenue West sits, which is the block of South Avenue behind the Fanwood Liquor Store, as it's our intention to vacate that street, correct?
Yes.
Which means it'll go away.
Portions of
Portion
it.
of it.
Portion of it, correct.
May I have a roll call, please?
Second. Did somebody second? I don't know.
Tom France.
Yes.
Catherine Mitchell.
Yes.
Russell Yuko.
Yes.
Karen Beck-Walker.
Yes.
Jack Mulligan.
Yes.
Councilman Barker?
I said yes.
No,
No,
you're
you're next.
You're next.
Oh, I'm next. Got it. Sorry. I move resolution 17-09-172 to award a contract to ARH Associates for the skate park punch list completion construction costs.
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Karen Beck-Walker.
Yes.
Jack Mulligan.
Yes.
Tom France.
Yes.
Catherine Mitchell.
Yes, I just have one question.
Russell Yuko.
Yes.
The fence at the skateboard park,
Mm-hmm.
are they, somebody rehabilitating that, or? what?
That's supposed to be in the punch list.
Okay,
Yeah,
because it's in pretty bad shape.
yeah, it has been. And it probably wasn't the right material to begin
Looks
with.
nice.
So, yeah, that was on the punch list.
Okay.
Pay now or pay later, right? The fence? Okay, I had a second, we did a roll call? Okay, so that passed. I'd now like to have a motion to open the meeting to the public.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to call forward any members of the public. Seeing that there isn't any that wish to come forward, may I have a motion to close the meeting to the public?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
And a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that concludes our meeting tonight.